So you're here for the NCAA Women's College Basketball scores for Thursday, January 15th, 2025. 2026. So let's go talk about the games. So we have number one UConn blew out Villanova 90-55. Number 2 South Carolina defeated Texas 60-65. South Carolina had only one loss in the season, and they going into this in Texas got their first loss in SEC play, and they got a second loss against South Carolina 68-65. Number 5 Vanderbilt played tough with Mississippi State. And just because you're a bottom tier in the SEC doesn't mean it's an easy game every game. And it wasn't. But Vanderbilt was up 11 after the third, so he had a little bit of wiggle room. Number 7 Kentucky played tough with Florida. Actually, was down Florida in double digit or near double digits at one point, but they came back and won 94-89, survives over Florida. Number 8 Michigan, 85-69 over number 25 fifth ranked Illinois. Fighting Illinois. And then we had number 9 Louisville. They're 17-3 now, 7-0 in AC play. They defeated Notre Dame, who has lost 3 games in ACC play. Yes, 3 games in ACC play. And they win. Number 9 Louisville is nice in NC6. Number 11 Iowa defeats Oregon 74-66. Oregon had a tough test against Iowa. They did beat they did end up beating USC. Oregon did, but they couldn't win against number 11 Iowa. They played tough, but they were down 16 after 3 though. So number 12 Maryland defeats USC 62-55. Number 15 Michigan on the Big Ten Network featuring those Big Ten Network game, not Fox Sports 1 game, because they want to show you UConn game and Big Ten Network. And then so this way they would not be able to show the UConn game. And the rates coverage of that Big Ten. I should say not Big Ten. Big East. Number 15 Michigan 73-7 over Auburn 58-54 over number 21 Alabama was ranked and they lost. They beat Missouri, was ranked right before the Missouri game because they beat Kentucky, the number 6 ranked Kentucky. But then they and they beat Mississippi State, fell to Auburn. NJT 68-57. I mean, that's not a good win for NJT in a Kids Day game. Binghamton proves to 4-0 in the American East with a 63-61 reopening. Tennessee State 76-2 Martin State. UMBC 55-47 win over Bryant. And that's a big win. That's a big win for UMBC to get win and upset undefeated Bryant Bulldogs. They're undefeated over other undefeated in conference play. Abilene Christian 70-58 over Covenant Baptist. Covenant Baptist was undefeated in conference play 5-0, and they fell to Abilene Christian 70-50 because there's a shortage of there's only there's only six or seven teams in the seven teams in Western Athletic Conference. So instead of playing, even more teams and you play each team twice. Now this year, they're playing every team 3 times in conference play. So you're playing each team once at home and once on the road, and then 3 of the teams you'll play twice at home and once on the road, and 3 teams you'll play twice on the road, once at home. And then Maryland State 68-61 over Coppin State overtime. Coppin State got shot in that overtime. And Maryland State had a low scoring quarter. It was really the 3-0s that put it up 7. But it was still close. Really close, 68-61. Then New Haven, the Chargers, 63-56 win over Chicago State. Florida State gets ACC win number 1, 69-65 over Pittsburgh. And then California and Syracuse went to triple overtime. California was down 16 after the 4th. Or 16 going into the 4th, I should say. And they won, and they tied up. But they just couldn't win. Syracuse ended up winning in triple overtime. 20 with the 90-87, 28-25 through the 3 overtimes. And then Stanford dominates Boston College 77-52. It's really at 28-11 fourth quarter for Boston College. Otherwise, Stanford was up like 30 points. Up 30-40 out. Domination. And then we had NC State 95-77 Wake Forest. Robert Morris in overtime. It's tough, tight back and forth throughout. But Robert Morris ended up winning in that overtime 14-4. 87. Offered 71-64 Western Carolina. And then Stone off 59-57 over St. Francis. St. Francis tried to come back over Stone. Yeah, they were up. I guess Stone with no points in the 4th. And Stone scored just enough just to win 59-57. St. Francis had a chance late to win it, but they just couldn't win they tried to take down all the time, and then Stonehill didn't foul. They didn't want the foul Stonehill. They wanted the shot clock violation. I don't know why they, because then it took a lot of time off. Yeah, so it gives Stonehill a chance afterwards to inbound the ball. Yes, it would. But they didn't care because they want, tied us up. But they wanted a chance, to win it. They should have just done it, and then if Stonehill missed the shot, they went to overtime, That'd probably been the best case. But who knows? But Vermont, 64-53 remain. James Madison knocks up Marshall, gives Marshall the first Sun Belt loss this season. 80-43. Marshall got dominated there. Fall 6-1 still playing now 15-4. Just with the 27-2 first quarter, just domination. For Marshall. First, James Madison. Little Rock, 55-47 or Eastern Line. Then went 78-66 to Southeast Missouri State. Eastern Kentucky goes to 5-0 in the ASUN. 16-60 reps. Jacksonville 96-86 or Central. SCP dominates Bombay 67-3. Southern 71-60 or Tennessee Tech over UTR 64-54 SAU Edwardsville. And then Murray State stays undefeated in the Missouri Valley Conference play with the 87-74 Arizona. Belmont 85-77 in USC. Arkansas Bluff in the SWAT goes to 2-3. Oral with a 77-54 win. Mercyhurst keeps Central Connecticut winless with an 83-63 win Central Connecticut. Elkhorn State versus 3-1 SWAT, keeping Prairie winless in SWAT play. 59-43. Texas Southern 60-43 over Jackson State. 60-46, my bad. North Carolina 73-62 over Miami. Furman 69-56 over New Streeter. Long Island University remains unbeaten in NAC play 79-68. Friday Dickinson unbeaten in NAC play 56-46 over Wagner. And then Northwestern State 67-57 Houston Christian. Incarnate Word 70-63 over East Texas A&M. Stetson 69-60 over Queens University. North Alabama 56-54 North Florida. West Georgia, not South Florida Gulf Coast 63-56. And Florida Gulf Coast was unbeaten in conference play. And they are usually pretty dominant in conference play, winning every game in conference play. Usually they do win every game in conference play. Florida Gulf Coast does, for the most part. But, and we're not able to, with Carlos Mexico, right? They're not as dominant, but still, and then we have pretty still winless in overall and winless in Missouri Valley Conference play. Snace 3-74. Virginia Tech beats SMU 79-42. And then we have 81-68. St. Thomas and Sawyer, Omaha 86-78. Steve Western Nichols 78-65. UT Grand Valley over Southeastern Indiana. Lamar 72-56 in runs. Missouri gets first SC win 94-16 in runs. Richardson 64-56 Utah Tech. And then Sam Houston still remains unbeaten at 4-0 in the conference. 50-38 lower scoring game over Western Tech. Louisiana Tech 61-48 over Real Tennessee. 8-74 Florida over Mississippi State. Northwestern 66-61 over Wisconsin. Duke improves to 7-0 in the Atlantic Coast Conference with a 65-58 win over Virginia Cavaliers. And then we have Kansas City. They win, or they follow us bad, 81-61. 90-44. South Dakota State down at Denver State being the Summer League play. Yeah, Arkansas State 70-34 over Louisiana. Arkansas State proves to 6-1 this Symbol. Really dominant now. Now there's no unbeaten teams in the Symbol. So they are really solid. Arkansas State is proven why they're still one of the top teams in the Symbol. Michigan State, players can blow them up. Second row State, City 59 over Arizona. Northern Crow, E60 opponents. Indies 7-1 in Southern play. Now with a 50-42 in over Texas. And then Tarzan State, E150 East Utah. Florida National, E370, E4 over Mexico State. Portland, 73-66 or Senegal. For 9, 71-53%. Well, Marymount, 55-51 over Oregon State. Giving Oregon State their first West Coast Conference loss of the season. And then Gonzaga, E269 over San Francisco. And then UC Riverside 77-59 or Long Beach State. UC Santa Barbara E267 over Cal State Arizona. UC San Diego 60-40 over Cal State Northridge. Idaho State falls to Idaho E160 in the Valley of Idaho schools. And their Big Sky rivals to witches, even the more crazy. And then East Russian E73-58 over Weber State. Missouri State improves to 4-0 in Conference USA play. They're usually like the top team in the Missouri Valley Conference, or they near the top. I don't know if they've been the top, but they've been pretty near the top. But they want to move to an FBS football conference that had all the sports that they had. Pretty much. Conference USA has a lot of sports that other schools don't have, like bowling, like as there's a lot of affiliate members, in Conference USA that just have bowling program. There's a few of them, and some good Missouri Valley Conference schools, or Missouri Valley Conference for all sports. But then there's some for like beach volleyball, and then there's some for bowling as well. Those two sports are not insanely popular enough to where every conference has them. But, and then Washington State upset St. Mary's 68-64. Cal State Fullerton falls to UC 73-67. And Hawaii defeats Cal Poly in the Big Book 86-46. Hawaii was dominant in it from 3, and they were dominant. They were good from 3, and they were ultra dominant scoring the ball. Just 40 points difference for Hawaii. So that's a solid win for the Rainbow Wahine. They needed that first win in conference play. Get them